Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, October the 20th of 2021. And my last journal entry was very intense. It was about the Friday, January the 18th of 2019, of the day that my mom, her eyes opened up and she shared that she was in the presence of the Lord, and she was good, and she said, He has me and I have Him, and it's wonderful. And actually she said, I've been singing. Also, that was something that she had said, and was very emotional and very intensely personal for me to share that. That's something that I hold very sacred to my heart, but it's important that now I can get that out. So today I'm going to just move forward. And so that Friday, January the 18th of 2019 was when my mom woke up after being out of it for about a week's time. And then she went back to sleep, a deep sleep, no drugs, no nothing. And then it was so cute because Sunday the 20th, 2 days later, I got a phone call from her caregiver early in the morning. She says, Miss Elizabeth, your mom is awake. And I said, oh my God, okay, I'll be right over. And she says, no, she wants empanadas. I'm like, okay, because she's not eaten in weeks. I mean, maybe some water sponges, but she had not eaten. And so, anyway, so sorry. If somebody's just now watching this, I'm journaling about my mother with brain cancer and what that was like. And right now I'm focusing in on the last week of her life. So Sunday, January the 20th of 2019, I received a phone call from her caregiver, like I mentioned earlier, that mom was wanting empanadas. My sister, Melissa, was with her, and I believe was giving her some peaches, and mom had not spoken or nothing, except she had spoken briefly that Friday before about the presence of the Lord, but she was not really anything else. And so when she woke up that Sunday, she was whispering and said she wanted an empanada. So I ran to a restaurant in the Woodlands, Texas, and got her some empanadas and literally ran over there as quick as I could to be with her. The fact that she was awake enough and asked for empanadas was crazy. She only had a few bites. My sister was painting her fingernails. She had asked for her fingernails to be painted. And I was on the other side of her bed, and my sister was on this side of the bed, and I was on this side of the bed, and just looking at mom and holding her hands. And she only had a few bites of stuff. She wasn't really eating. I think she just wanted the taste. And I said to her, I said, Mom, of course I said, Mom, I love you so much. And she, love you too. And sorry. So, we were holding hands, and I wasn't crying or anything like I am now, because I had to be strong. And we were holding hands, and I just told her, I said, Mom, I love you so much. And she said, I love you too, sweetheart. She was whispering, and I said, Mom, I'm painting again. So I'm an artist and I do paint. I don't paint all the time, but I do paint from time to time. And my mother was the one that encouraged me to paint on silk. And so I began painting on silk with her inspiration. And so I showed her a silk scarf that I've been painting. I said, Mom, look, I have a silk scarf I'm painting. And it's for you. And she says, oh. And I said, Mom, remember what we talked about, right? Remember what we talked about? I said, I can't paint here with you, but you can paint with me. Like after you're with the Lord, you will be with me always. And she said, yes. And I said to her, Mom, remember, I'm going to meet you. And she says, I'll see you in the clouds. I'll see you in the clouds. I'll meet you in the clouds. I said, yes, I'll meet you in the clouds. And she had this very relaxed, peaceful look on her face. And it was very touch and go that day, but she was very much at peace and relaxed. But what was so precious about it all, really, guys, is just the fact that she says, I'll meet you in the clouds. And Mom was, I had mentioned before how she was transitioning, like her body was here, but her spirit and her soul through her eyes were completely different. It was, I can't really explain it. It's not something I think that most of us are used to. Somebody that maybe you've been with who's been in the hospital and they're medicated, they're in all kinds of ventilators and systems and all that kind of stuff. This was very raw. There was none of that. I mentioned before that she refused all of her medication. So this is a stage 4 brain cancer person for at least over 2 weeks with no morphine, no all the other stuff she was on. It was ridiculous, all the drugs that she was on, the anti-swelling, the steroids, I can't even remember it all. It's just too much to even go into. And she was no longer on it, and she was in her right mind. She was speaking clearly when she could speak, even though it was whispering. When she did speak, she was lucid. She was completely clear-minded. And she was not in pain. So she was going back and forth. And so that Sunday, my sister painted her fingernails, and we brought her some empanadas. She had a few bites, and she was in and out. And we just had that time together, and it was really precious. And so, again, the whole thing that I want to share with my testimony and my journaling and my conversation through all of this with my mom is that she always said, God does not give you cancer, He sees you through cancer. And then more importantly, what does that really look like? And I know that everyone has a different walk, and none of it is pretty. None of it is pretty, and it is always heart-wrenching, and it does. It breaks our hearts. It cuts us to the core. But I know that I need to be able to share what my walk was with my mom and what her walk was like, because I just want to be able to give encouragement in the midst of immense loss and grief. That they're in the midst of it all, when we don't understand it and we're angry and we're frustrated and we feel like there's an injustice. Like, what the heck? Like, really? Like, my mom was 68 years old. This is what she's going through, et cetera, et cetera. But there's grace, and God shows up, and his mercy and his grace endures forever. And like, her translating what she was seeing and feeling the last week of her life, of her saying, I've been singing, he has me and I have him, and then she just go in and out. I mean, it was really incredible. And I know that's what I'm supposed to share. Then what happened, so she was out most of Sunday, and then Monday, our brother Robert, who's incarcerated for a long time, his birthday is January the 22nd. I had called the chaplain that Sunday and said, listen, if there's any way, our mom is not gonna make it, like she's on her way out big time. I mean, we're talking a week maybe. So Tuesday the 22nd, I said, if there's any way that he could call her, please make an allowance. So I had this big sticky note for the phone number, said if my mom's phone rings and this number shows up, this is the prison that my brother's at, answer the phone and accept the call, okay? Just accept the call. I mean, just accept it. Anyway, my brother, thank God, the other brother, Brian, was there that day and had been there. And this is really important, guys. So my mom, she had a hard life. She had married our dad right out of high school, trying to be the perfect Mormon wife. And it didn't go so well. By the time she was in her 30-ish, it all fell apart. And she subsequently went through a really hard spell. And I could dive into that later. I don't want to do that right now. But my point is that my mom, the two men in her life that she loved the most, and the two men that hurt her the most, my dad, her the first love of her life, and my brother, her firstborn son. The two men that abused her emotionally the most, that hurt her the most, but she loved the most and was forgiving all of her life. So let me tell you what happened. So Tuesday the 22nd comes, and the phone does ring, and Brian is there to answer it, and it's my brother, Robert. And I get there on the tail end of it, but Mom was awake enough. It was his birthday, the 22nd of January, and she was able to kind of whisper, happy birthday. And I could hear my brother talking to her. I love you, Mom, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what I didn't know is that earlier that day, my brother Brian was there. Earlier, our dad had called to talk to Mom. And they did not talk a lot. But apparently he felt led to call her that day and just talk to her. And so the last two men that Mom talked to was my dad, the first love of her life, and my brother, the two men that hurt her, that crushed her whole life, made amends with her and brought her honor and showed her love and respect. And I was like, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, the last two people she actually spoke with in her whispering voice were the two men that hurt her the most, but they gave her honor and validated her love and respect. And that was it. That was it. That Tuesday after she whispered, saying to my brother, happy birthday, she was out. She just she was asleep and she just went, she was gone. I mean, she wasn't gone, but she was gone. And I always say, Mom, you were so honored at the end, all the honor that you needed all of your life from them, you received that honor. And she was free, to go. And so, that was Tuesday, January the 22nd. And then, all that rest of that night. And then that Wednesday, Thursday, her body was there. She was breathing. But I could already tell, like, she was, and I just want to be able to say, like, God is so good, because my mom, she had that respect and that honor from the two people that hurt her the most in life. And the Lord did not let her leave here without that honor and without that respect. She was always loving and serving and giving. Even in the midst of her hurt and heartache and stuff, she loved like no other. Like, she loved to a fault, Anyway, that was that was Tuesday the 22nd. And I'm going to journal about Friday the 25th, the actual day that she passed, because that's a completely different scenario. But it was so amazing. So I just want to say, like, God is so good to give that honor and that respect, and that's why I journal. And this is what I want to be able to say in the midst of deep heartache and deep pain. It doesn't make it easier. Some people go, oh, with time things get easier. No, it does not. It just gets different. But I'm talking about, like, what I was going through, what we all went through that day, that week, the week before, or the week of, and the week after, was pretty cool. But I love how God, what? Mom, she had it. She had the respect and the honor. And then she could let go. And that's, again, the goodness and faithfulness of the Lord. So, as always, I always want to say, may the Lord bless you. May he keep you. And may his face shine upon you in graciousness and peace. He is behind you. He is beside you. And he goes before you. He stands with us in all of our ways. And he fights for us with an everlasting love. And trust me, I know, because he fought super hard for me. And I will get to those. I will get to that. But for now, I'm just sharing my journey with my mom, my mom, and the Lord. So God bless you and keep you, as always. Okay? Bless you. Thank you so much.